It's 7:03 on a Wednesday morning. You didn't rush, you didn't scramble, you didn't hit snooze 4 times and eat a granola bar in traffic. You made eggs, you poured coffee, you sat down at your kitchen table and opened your phone. Not to check emails, not to answer a Slack message, not to see what your boss needs. You opened it to see what your money made you while you were unconscious. $63. Deposited overnight. Nobody asked you for a timesheet. Nobody scheduled a meeting about it. You simply owned something, and it paid you. Most people will spend their entire life trading time for money. Every dollar earned by the hour, every raise begged for, every vacation day counted and rationed like it's scarce. But there's another way, and it doesn't require a windfall, a trust fund, or getting lucky on a meme stock. It requires one thing most people refuse to do. Wait. This is the story of what happens when you start at $10,000. Stay disciplined for 18 years and let a boring strategy do something extraordinary. No crypto, no options trading, no 14-hour days building a startup. Just dividends, compounding, time, and the patience most people run out of before the real money arrives. If you've ever looked at your paycheck and thought, there has to be more than this, stay with me, because there is, and it starts smaller than you think. Section 1. The first $400. Age 26. You're 26. You've been grinding for 2 years, not partying, not upgrading your apartment, not buying the things the algorithm keeps showing you. You've saved $10,000. It's just sitting there. A savings account paying you 0.4% like a bad joke. You do something that feels almost embarrassingly small. You open a brokerage account. You buy a Dividend ETF. Something reliable. Something your friends have never heard of and would never care about. At a 4% annual yield, that $10,000 will pay you $400 this year. Go ahead. Say it out loud. $400. Your gym membership. Your streaming subscriptions. Your phone bill for 4 months. Paid. By money that didn't require a single hour of your labor. You tell a friend over lunch. He laughs so hard he almost chokes on his burrito. He says his crypto play last month made more than that in a day. You ask him where that money is now. He changes the subject. Here's what he doesn't understand, and what you're just starting to. This $400 isn't the point. The $400 is the seed. And seeds don't look like much until you stop laughing at them and start watering them. You click reinvest. The $400 buys more shares. Those shares produce more dividends. Next year, you won't make $400. You'll make $416. $16. Doesn't sound like much, but you didn't do a single thing to earn it. That's compounding. And right now, it's just a whisper. Give it time. It gets loud. Section 2. The $2,000 year. Age 29. 3 years pass. You've been adding to your position consistently, not perfectly. There were months you only contributed $200. There was 1 month you didn't contribute at all. You didn't beat yourself up. You just kept going. $50,000 now lives in that same boring ETF. It pays you $2,000 a year. $2,000. Your electricity bill for 12 months. Your internet. A long weekend somewhere warm with money left over. Think about that. Every time you flip a light switch in your apartment this year, that bill is already covered. Not by overtime. Not by a bonus you had to beg for. By shares you bought 3 years ago and forgot about. You're at a birthday dinner when your old college roommate announces he just signed a lease on a luxury high-rise. Rooftop pool. Concierge. The whole thing. Everyone's impressed. You ask what the rent is. He says $3,400 a month. You do the math quietly in your head. $40,800 a year. Gone. Every year. Forever. You say, "That's amazing, man." And you mean it, because he's happy. But on the drive home, you think about your own apartment. Nothing fancy. Good neighborhood. $1,400 a month. And $2,000 a year silently covering your utilities in the background. You're not competing with him. You stopped competing a while ago. You're playing a different game entirely. Section 3. The Trap. Age 32, $100,000. 6 figures. Your portfolio pays you $4,000 a year now. A full year of groceries. Every egg, every bag of rice, every rotisserie chicken from the deli, covered by passive income. Then your cousin calls. He found a stock, yields 11%, pays monthly. He's already put $15,000 in. He says, and I want you to really hear this. He says, why are you settling for 4% when you could be making 11? You pull up the chart. The yield is real. The stock is not okay. It's dropped 47% over 2 years. That 11% yield exists because the price has been gutted. The company is paying out dividends it can barely afford. It's robbing from its own future to look attractive today. This is a yield trap, and it has destroyed more wealth than any market crash. The math feels seductive. $100,000 at 11% is $11,000 a year, triple what you're making. Who wouldn't want that? Here's who. Anyone who checks what happened 6 months after people bought in. The dividend gets slashed. The price craters another 30%. That 11% turns into 4% on an asset that's now worth $60,000. You didn't just miss out on income. You lost $40,000 in principal. Your cousin doesn't call back for a while after the cut. You keep your boring ETF. You keep your $4,000. You keep walking through the grocery store on Sunday mornings knowing something most people don't. High yield is not generosity. High yield is a distress signal. The market is telling you the company is in trouble and dressing it up in a number that looks like a gift. 4% that lasts forever beats 12% that disappears every single time. Section 4. The $250,000 shift. Age 35, $250,000. Your portfolio pays you $10,000 a year. Every mile you drive this year, fuel, insurance, registration, covered. You're in traffic on a Thursday morning. The guy in the next lane is in a brand new Range Rover. You can tell by the way his jaw is clenched that the payment is real and the comfort is not. You're in a 2020 Honda that owes you absolutely nothing. No payment, no lease, no $900 a month obligation to look like you've made it. Your car was paid off 2 years ago, and your portfolio just covered every expense that car will create this year. Someone at work comments that you should treat yourself to something nicer. They say you deserve it. You smile. You say maybe someday. What you don't say, what you could never explain without sounding strange, is that you already treated yourself. You treated yourself to $10,000 a year that shows up whether you work or not. That's a treat that doesn't depreciate in your driveway. Section 5. The $500,000, age 38, $500,000, $20,000 a year, every year. This is the number financial planners call the floor. At this level, you could cover basic living expenses indefinitely, housing, food, utilities, without selling a single share. You're not retiring today, but something shifts. Your boss needs you to stay late on a Friday. Last year, you said yes before he finished the sentence. This time, you pause. Not dramatically, not to make a point. Just, you pause, you breathe. And you realize the yes coming out of your mouth is a choice, not a survival instinct. That pause is what $500,000 feels like. It doesn't feel like yachts. It doesn't feel like first class. It feels like 3 seconds of silence where fear used to live. Section 6. The million. Age 41. $1 million. $40,000 a year in dividends. You open a tax calculator one night. Qualified dividends. Single filer. Under the current threshold. Federal tax owed, 0. Your coworker earned the same $40,000 this year in salary and paid $8,000 in federal taxes before it ever touched his bank account. Your $40,000 arrived whole, every cent. You sit with that for a long time. You're not smarter than him. You're not luckier. You made one decision at 26 and kept making it quietly, consistently, invisibly, while everyone around you laughed, spent, leased, and leveraged. Nobody at the office knows. You still bring lunch. You still park in the same spot. But on Tuesday afternoons, when everyone's stressed about quarterly numbers, you're nodding along, contributing, doing your job well. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I could walk out of here and my life would not change. That thought doesn't make you arrogant. It makes you calm. The $1.5 million morning, age 44, $1,500,000, $60,000 a year. You read a headline over coffee. Americans say they need $1.46 million to retire comfortably. You read it twice. Then you close the tab and watch the street outside your window. People rushing, people late, people doing the thing you used to do, trading their hours, their Mondays, their sleep, their peace, for a paycheck that gets taxed and spent before it does anything meaningful. You think about that 26-year-old who opened a brokerage app and bought something boring. That kid had $10,000 and a coworker who laughed at his $400 dividend. That $400 dividend is now $60,000. That kid no longer needs an alarm. You write one email, short, professional, grateful. You hit send. No panic, no drama, no second guessing. Just a quiet Tuesday morning. And the calm certainty of someone who made one decision, kept it, and let time do the rest. If this video made you think differently about how money can work, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe if you want more content that cuts through the noise and gets to what actually builds wealth. And drop a comment below. What age did you start investing? Or what's stopping you from starting right now? Because the best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is today.